obviously a legend. We're going to talk about Steven Spielberg again, but first, I just want to say thank you for coming back to the channel. I'm Jake Fine with Doozy Productions, where we're enthusiastic about telling stories and helping you tell yours. I know it's a mouthful. Let's get into the fucking clip. Run it.
All great story has great conflict. Steven Spielberg understands that the best kind of conflict is messy. There are no clear answers. The audience must participate and pick a side.
We can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it.
Asking big questions and leaving it up to the audience to decide is a classic Spielberg technique.
Don't you see the danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here? Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
He grows conflict by raising the stakes for the characters until eventually, it's usually a matter of life and death. As humans, we need to relate to the core conflict of the story in a fundamental way. All humans can relate to death and loss. Spielberg plays with our most basic emotions to further invest us in the story's conflict. Number 4.
Conflict that has no clear answer. I'll tell you why. Create conflict that has no clear answer, and I'll tell you why. It makes the audience have to think harder, and it also creates depth and layers to your film. If you have a character who's on an adventure that has a clear answer and it doesn't make the people who are watching it have to think, it brings down the entertainment value because it makes it a little more shallow and easier to predict. It makes the film have less replay value because there's less to get out of it, and therefore it decreases the longevity of the success of your film, and it makes it less culturally viral and such and so forth. It's just bad. It's bad business, really. So when you create a theme or a story and you create conflicts that the characters have to go through that don't have a direct moral answer, like I'll reference it again, the boat scene in Dark Knight, where the Joker has it set up so 2 boats are basically filled with prisoners of the Joker, and one of them has to blow up the other boat. If one boat doesn't blow up the other boat, then they actually both blow up. So that's the conflict, and that's how Joker has it set up. And obviously right there, the audience is forced to think, what am I gonna do? And there's no clear answer. Are you wrong if you blow up the other boat in order to survive? I don't know. I would say probably, but someone else might say, nah, I have kids to go home to and feed, and I have a life to have. I don't want to die right now. Why should I have to die? You're not necessarily wrong for that. But there's also people that say, I'm not gonna have any blood on my hands. I would never feel good. I would have complete survivor's guilt if I blew up the other person. That's probably where I would lie. But again, it's very morally challenging, and that entertains the audience more. There's more of a lesson in that. There's more to think about. There's more of an emotional, jarring sense to that part of the story, and that's what makes that movie a classic. Those conflicts that are so hard to understand and so deep, and the characters who have such deep inner conflict that we can all find some way to relate, love, and hate those characters and the parts of the stories that we all have an opinion about or have a hard time finding an opinion about because they're so deep. This is what we're trying to do here at Doozy on the documentary we're working on, Manimal, which is about a fighter who goes through all the ups and downs in life, but eventually fights in Madison Square Garden. John Beneducci, the Manimal, it's all documented. We're working on it now, and that we have huge plans for that. So if you want to be on the lookout for that, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support me and you want to join the Doozy movement and be a part of documentaries basically coming to the forefront, you need to like this video because it really helps us out. You need to subscribe because we're flooding it with content. We're putting out 10 or so videos a week, plus more maybe, and you need to share it with a friend who might be interested. If you want to help us, that's what you got to do. So without further ado, I'm going to end the video there. I've said too much already. Do those things if you want to help us out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!